corner. Out of hill corner. Uses the outside.
Hi there, Mr. Keish here, and welcome to this onboard track guide. We're doing 3 cars around this track, Bathurst, and we're going to be starting off in the Zaxby Ford Capri, 1980s legend in the Group 5 GT racing. So, as we enter Murray's Corner, we come out of there, we're going to come down, start, finish straight, and we're going to cross the line, and that starts the clock. We'll be shoving this car into the first corner, Hell Corner, and it leads us onto Mountain Straight. Very long straight on this track, good overtaking opportunity, lots of slipstreaming, particularly in the Bathurst 1000, get some decent tussles going through here. Bit of like, enter this bridge, you go down, and we come up, and as we approach Griffith Bend, we start to turn in, but we're still pretty planted on the throttle there. We're going to get into the tighter bits of the mountain section now. We've got corners 3, 4 and 5 to cut in, really narrow. Going to have some really good tussles in this around here, jostling for position in some cases, but now it gets technical. This is 5 and 6 quarry corners, and as you can see, from one end of the track to the other, but we're still going at a fair rate. But it's pretty ballsy to do some of this. With some cars you're probably not going to be able to pull it off, but this you can just about do it. The good thing about that section, you can use the full length of the track with no risk at all. So now we're getting into the most well-known part of the track, the dipper. Now we're sort of hovering on half throttle and mainly on and off. We're keeping the turbo on tick, just gives it a little bit more of an edge coming through, keeping the speed up, just keeps the car balanced, and you're not planting it on, you're not taking it off, you're not unsettling the car. So as we're coming out of the dipper, we're heading into Forest Elbow, and we come on to Conrod Straight. This is the down and up bit. Now for here, as we approach corner 20 into the chase, we're doing about 163, 164 miles an hour, but notice we're still keeping it planted here. We're keeping it planted for a very long time, until about here, where we start to pile on the brakes, and then we get into the chase, the meat of the chase. This is good overtaking right there. So we come under this bridge, we go past the pit box here, and then we head into Murray's Corner. It's a quick left-hander on the brakes, back on the throttle, and we're crossing the line. The time will come up on the screen very shortly, and the Zaxby did that in 2 minutes 14 seconds. Not bad for an 80s car. Now we're moving into car number 2, the Mercedes 190E Evo 2. This car won the 1992 DTM Touring Car Championship with Klaus Ludwig at the wheels. So, without further ado, we are coming out the last corner, we're going down start finish straight, and we'll be crossing that line anytime soon now. We're going to head into the first corner, corner number 1, Hell's Corner, and we've got it a little bit too deep. Totally my bad on that behalf there. That one's on me. I'm going to head onto the Mountain Straight. The thing I love about this car is it's so easy to play around with. You can chop and change things on it. It's so forgiving for whatever you do, and especially in the game. You know, I've raced guys in a Sierra and in the BMW, and this one just seems to walk all over it. It doesn't harm you at all. It more or less harms them. And it's such a fun car to drive. But now we're heading into the cut-in. Again, the tight part of the track. And now we're going into Quarry Corner. And again, this is the tight bit. So in the Capri, we're a little bit sceptical about what was going on here, but nevertheless, we are flat out and we're lifting off just over here, making sure we got it all correct. And now we're pushing it again. And we're pushing it too much, and I've just tapped the wall there. But nonetheless, we're still going at full chat here. So now that's the dipper in sight. If you remember on the first episode of Bumps, Jumps and Shunts, one of the first crashes on there was me in the 190E going into that corner. Now that's what happens when you lift off going through there. It loses the rear end and you smash into the tyre wall. But we've not done that here so far, so all's going well. So now we're coming out of the dipper and we're entering into Forest's Elbow, back onto the Conrod Straight. Now you can tell there is a bit of difference between this car and the Capri. First things first, the Capri has got about 400 brake, this has 320. The Capri tops out around 200, although on there it tops out about 165 on the straight. We top out about 187, but tops out about 160 here. But we're braking in the same places going into the chase here. As we turn in, we're running a little bit wide, but nevertheless we're all out there fine. Now I'm running a high downforce setup mainly because of the dipper, to prevent the loss of the rear end, like what happened in that bumps, jumps and shunts video. So now entering the last corner, and we're going under the bridge, and we approach that line anytime soon, and time will be coming up on the screen now. And the Mercedes done that in 2 minutes 26 seconds. Pretty respectable lap time for the mountain. Now we're moving into the big guns. The one, the only, Lotus 98T Renault Turbo, driven by Ayrton Senna himself in 1986. This is a scary car to drive. So we come around the last corner, and we're heading under the bridge, approaching the start finishing line now, and as we go into Hell's Corner we're on the brakes earlier than we planned, so going straight through that. We're going up the mountain straight, and this car is absolutely rapid. 900 brake, 0 to 100 in 3 seconds, weighs only about 1300 pounds, and boy what a flyer it is. We're heading straight into Griffin's Bend. And again, no mercy at all. We're fighting the car all the way up. The power is just so instant, it's unbelievable. So now we're going into the cut-in. This is so tricky in a car like this, and we're even going way too deep for that compared to the other two cars. So as we now go through Quarry Corner, it's definitely the tight bit, and it is so scary even just driving this car through here. You're going at unbelievable speeds, we're hitting curbs, we're so close to the walls. We're flying through this section of the track before heading to the dipper. This is where I was getting scared the most. The dipper. We know it's kind of caught me out on more than one occasion. And we're using a similar technique to what we did in the Capri. Just sort of half on the throttle and sometimes just on and off, just to keep the turbo on track. So now we're going into Forest Elbow. And again, we're just making it through. No problems at all. Now onto the main straight. And boy, does this thing go. Just listen to this noise. It's music to my ears, literally. So going into corner 20, we clip that curve big time. We're right on the brakes, believe it or not, a lot later than we normally would do, but these brakes are so good, it stops us in time. So now that we cleared the chase, we've gone under the bridge, we're past the pit lane entrance, and we're going into Murray's Corner, the last corner. And now we're going to chuck it down the road here. Can we really do it in under 2 minutes? I believe we can. Yes, we did. A 1 minute 59 seconds. Pretty good going. So, to round up the 3 cars. The Zack Speed Capri. What a machine. It's a beast. But round here, 10 to mode 11. Unstoppable. The Mercedes 190 Evo. Had it actually raced in some of the Bathurst 1000s in the past years, this would have been the king of the mountain. The Lotus 98T, well, noobs, don't drive it around here, you're not going to survive. Well, it's been a real pleasure doing this for you guys. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to follow the following pages that come through on the credits. Thanks very much, we'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.